Do you ever feel like you've hit some kind of ceiling with your business or side hustle? You're wondering, why are you asking this? Because I have, and not so long ago. And it's so frustrating. And confusing. And you're like, why is this happening? I'm working so hard. I'm trying so hard. I want to make this work. And it's not. And you start feeling like I'm overworked. I'm underpaid. And sometimes some really grim thoughts like, this is never going to work. I mean, you know the whispers, right? I've seen this happen lots of times. Sadly, this is kind of normal in the world of the entrepreneur, because I've helped lead 19 companies and I've seen the entrepreneurs in that hit this. I've seen entrepreneurs I guide hit this and continue to guide. I've got a guy right now, we're coming out of it and it's going to be glorious, and his income's probably going to double, to be really quite honest. But I mean, it's tough going through. Well, over the 25 plus years I've been an entrepreneur and doing this sort of thing, I've discovered one thing that's going to help you make more money, have more time, and frankly, more freedom. But first, let's dive into what's the truest thing about us entrepreneurs. We got into this whole thing because of some sort of passion we had or problem we saw that we had the skills and experience to fix. We had an answer. We are about making the world a better place for people in whatever field we're in, okay? Consequently, the business side of the business is an afterthought, especially when we get started. We're like, yeah, that'll take care of itself. And actually, it does for the first few years, because we don't have a lot of business. But if you're successful, you continue to grow and expand, the business side of the business becomes pretty important. And that's about the time you hit your first ceiling. I've seen this so many times. And here's the one thing you need at that point. And really, if you had it earlier, it would be better. Business savvy. You're like, really, George? That's it? That's what I need is business savvy? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, you go, but I got business savvy. And that's true. If you've been in business for a few years, you've built up some business savvy, and I know how you got it. You got it through the school of hard knocks, and you've got the bruises to show for it. Now let me tell you something. There's a lot more business savvy out there to get. And if you're successful at what you're doing, you're going to hit more ceilings. You're like, what? You mean this isn't it? That ceiling I hit back then, or you're saying there's more coming? I go, yeah, because as you continue to grow and expand, you personally are going to hit ceilings. And it's going to be tied to business savvy. Now here's the good news. I can help you shortcut that and get business savvy and not have to go through so many hard knocks and get so many bruises. And hang on to the end, because I've got a special bonus I want to give you that's going to help you go even deeper with business savvy. But let's define business savvy first. I like to think of business savvy as you get the picture about business, not just your business, but business in general. You're shrewd in business. You're discerning, and you have understanding with business matters. In other words, you understand how business works. There's a way business works, and there's a way business doesn't work, okay? And honestly, it takes a long time to figure out, oh, it doesn't work that way. So then we keep bumping into walls and, looking for a door. That's how business works. You're clever. You're perceptive with business. It's business wisdom. It's what you grow into. But I came across a word I really like. You are grok. G-R-O-K. Grok. Which means you understand something intuitively. To look at it another way, you have so much business savvy that you operate business in an intuitive kind of way. In other words, it doesn't take a lot of data points to get you to understand, oh, I know exactly what's going on here. I've seen this. I've had mentors in my life, and they were business groks, okay? That's beyond savvy. All right. And these guys literally, so here's a quick story. I picked up one of my mentors at the airport and I drove him past one of our stores. I was leading the family business. We had these stores and he looked at that store. I said, that's one of our stores. And he looked at it. We're driving on the freeway and he looks at it and goes, wow, that store is having a lot of problems. I'm like, how on earth does he know that? It's true. I didn't want to tell him. I was too proud to tell him. You know, we're men. We don't want to talk about these problems. We want to talk about success. And I'm like, now I look back and I go, that guy was business grok. You know, he was more than business savvy. All right, you get the idea? That's where I want to take you. I've actually had entrepreneurs I've guided and worked with say, you know, guy, you're so perceptive, you get it. They didn't know the word grok, but I think that's what they were saying. Look, I desire that, and I desire that for you too. So let's jump into 3 keys to business savvy. Because if you've got these keys, you're going to start unlocking business savvy much faster. And here's the first one. And honestly, if you've got this, I mean, the other 2 matter, but this one is huge, and it's direction. Where are you headed with your business? Where are you headed as a company? And I don't mean next year. I mean long-term, way out there. Okay, so think of it like this. Let's say I run into you and I go, hey, what's up? And you're going, oh, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. And I go, really? Hey, that sounds great. How long you be gone? You go, oh, this is going to be fabulous. I'm going to take a 2-week vacation. Can you believe it? I go, no, that's awesome. Wow, have a great time. Hey, where are you going? You go, oh, I don't know, but it's going to be great. I'm taking 2 weeks off. I said, you told me that. Well, are you going to stay at home and have a staycation? Oh, no, I'm going. I'm leaving town. I'm getting out of here. I've got my bags all packed. I go, well, how are you just going to go to the airport and buy a ticket to somewhere? What's the plan? Where are you headed? And you don't know. That's how most people run their businesses. I'm going on a 2-week vacation, but I don't even know what the destination is. Much less, how do you know when you're there? So if you've got direction for your business, how do you know you got there? That's all part of direction. And look, I want you to start thinking about this like way out, 20, 30 years from now. You go, well, I'm not even going to be doing this business then. I go like, no, that's okay. That doesn't matter. What matters is you've got an idea of where you're headed long term, okay? So the second key are numbers. You've got to get savvy with the numbers. In fact, you've got to start making decisions based on the numbers. Now, some of those might be financial decisions. Some of those might be just metrics that you're keeping up with. But you've got to look at your numbers and go, what's going on with my business? I just did this with an entrepreneur I'm guiding, and he goes, and he's been flying blind. He goes like, I feel like I'm flying blind. I go, you are flying blind. We haven't had numbers for 10 months. And there was a bad accountant situation, and things have tied up, and then we're building a transition, so we're gonna have total control over the numbers and access to them. And he goes, I go, well, what's going on? And he goes, well, my cash dropped. Okay, cash really doesn't tell you much, okay? Except that, well, my cash is down or my cash is up. There's a lot of reasons behind that. So I said, that's the first report we need to build, is something that shows you why cash is moving and where it's going or where it's coming from. There's technical terms to all this. I'm going to skip it. That was for him. But what's the number for you? And when you're making decisions about your business, he wants to hire more top-level personnel into his company. He needs to know the numbers. He's got to have some kind of ability to say, okay, I can afford making these expansion moves he wants to make. Got it? All right, so the third key is strategy. All right, now this eludes most entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs And most people think tactically. I write about that in my book, The Next Level Entrepreneur. Tactics versus strategies. What's the difference? Here's the thing, is that you've got to start coming up with strategies that begin to move you toward where you want to be, not tomorrow, but 20 years from now, okay? So that's a lot right there. And you just grab any one of those things, direction, numbers, strategies, it's going to start moving you in the right direction, okay? And you will grow in business savvy. I see it. I see it with the entrepreneurs I'm guiding, and it's like, whoa. And I'm talking about doctors. I'm talking about therapists. I'm talking about marketing people. I'm talking about people that are the opposite of number people, okay? And yet, they don't need to know every number out there. They just know the numbers that work for them, okay? And then you start thinking strategically. And it's a way to think, okay? It's in my book. It's in a lot of the content we've already produced. Take a look at that. But if you really want to go deeper with this, I've got a really sweet offer for you. And it's a free e-course, okay? This e-course will take you deeper into the 3 keys and into the framework of my Next Level Navigator. So check it out, the link's below. And until the next time we talk, check out this video right here. I know you're gonna love it. And in the meantime, may you live truly free.